Jamie and Claire's Outlander age difference, explained. This math is fuzzy at best, but Katrina Balfe gave us some intel. Outlander is full of mysteries. How do the Cranodon standing stones work as time portals? Why does Frank see Jamie's ghost in the first episode? How come only certain people can pass through the stones, and what's that buzzing sound about, anyway? And then there's the matter of the show's timeline, though timelines may be more accurate given how it hopped between the 20th century and the 18th for 4 seasons. Jamie and Claire Fraser are always at the center of this century-spanning action, a couple with white-hot chemistry who've been married for over 20 years. Which brings us to another head-scratcher: what is Claire and Jamie's age difference, again? The answer is a wee bit more complicated than it seems, but here's what we know about Jamie and Claire's ages, according to the Starz series, author Diana Gabaldon's own account, and Katrina Balfe herself. Jamie Fraser was born on May 1, 1721. For consistency purposes, we'll be referencing the timeline of events on Diana Gabaldon's website here. Per Gabaldon's dates, James Alexander Malcolm Mackenzie Fraser entered the world on May 1, 1721. Now, here's where things start to get tricky when parsing out book versus show. On her site, Gabaldon writes that Claire falls through the stones on May 2, 1946, traveling 203 years back in time to May 2, 1743, just after the Gaelic festival of Beltane, an actual ancient event traditionally celebrated on April 30/May 1. By Gabaldon's math, Jamie would have just turned 22 years old in the books. The show tweaks things a bit, though. On Outlander, Claire falls through the stones just after the Gaelic festival of Samhain, celebrated on October 31/November 1, not Beltane. Notably, this action takes place in 1945, not 1946, 6 months after VE Day on May 8, 1945, which is the point where Katrina Balfe's Claire starts telling her story in episode 1, Sassenach. Thus, on the show, Jamie is a smidge older at 22 and a half when Claire first meets him. If we're sticking to the birthday established by Gabaldon, that is. Claire Fraser was born on October 20, 1918. According to Gabaldon's website timeline, Claire falls through stones on May 2, 1946, again, not 1945, but more on that later. That would make her 27 and a half at the time she and Jamie meeting the books, while Jamie's barely 22. This would make Claire 5.5 years older than Jamie. A small detail from the show confirms that it's indeed around the time of Samhain in 1743 Scotland, too, when Claire lands there. As we've established, Gabaldon says Claire arrived in 18th century Scotland on May 2, 1743. But in Season 1, Episode 2, Castle Leoch, Claire figures out what year she's traveled back to when she finds a letter on Colin Mackenzie's desk. That letter is dated November 1, 1743. But this means that on the show, Claire had to have just turned 27 on October 20, 1945, less than 2 weeks before she meets Jamie. To recap, by Gabaldon's timeline, Jamie and Claire's age difference is 5.5 years, while on the show, that age gap shrinks to 4.5 years. This also clashes with what Balfe's Claire tells Jamie on screen, that she is 26 going on 27. In short, these numbers are fuzzy at best. Gabaldon's Outlander book originally began in 1945, and was later changed to 1946. The author has explained the reason for this herself on her website, stating the events of Cross Stitch, the original name of the series' first book, Outlander, began in 1945 in the original American edition. It was pushed back to 1946 in the British printings after it became apparent that the dates didn't quite match up there. For example, as mentioned above, there's no way Claire and Frank Randall could have made it to Scotland for Beltane by May 1, 1945 because that's a full week before VE Day signaled the end of World War II,